If the car gets struck by lightning, it'll make some pretty good footage.
From both angles.
Bam. So welcome to today's episode of Llama Drives, where Von and I shoot the breeze. Well, Von drives, I'm passengering. A little bit of behind the scenes, just chit-chat about what's going on, and just general banter that we use to kill the time as we drive between today, Melbourne and Ballarat on the freeway here, and through some storms.
Yeah.
There's
You
thunder.
may see a bit of thunder and lightning.
You will see the thunder, literally. It'll shake the crap out of the car. There's some really big... You've also got a camera in the back there, so strap yourself in, put your seatbelt on. You're in the back.
Right in the back.
Settle down. Alrighty, so kicking off today, Von, you've just come back from Bangkok.
Yes.
That was a whirlwind trip.
I've been in Thailand for the weekend. One of my colleagues was sick, so they were looking around for someone to assist for the production go live for a project, and I said, well, I've done that style of project before, I can help out. Yep. So I shuffled a few things around and did, like you said, a whirlwind trip. So I haven't had much consecutive sleep. Last night was amazing in my own bed.
What was the time difference? It was a 9-hour flight from Melbourne to Bangkok.
Yeah, depending which direction, 9 hours 50 or around 8 to 9 hours on the way back.
Gotta love a good tailwind.
Yeah.
Just like on the bike.
So good.
Melbourne to Perth is the same.
Yeah, so that was to Sydney, by the way. So.
Oh, actually, you went from Sydney, bounced through. Okay, so while you were over there, keeping on the bike theme.
Yeah.
How did you go with fitness, gyms? You didn't get on the bike?
Not outside, no. I stayed at the Intercontinental. Bangkok.
Yep.
And that hotel has a gym it's right on the top floor of the hotel and it overlooks the whole city. So no matter which direction you were in, you had amazing views of the city. So if you're running, if you're on the cross trainer or on the spin bike, you got to have a look out.
So you got a session in on the spin bike?
Yeah, yep. It was so uncomfortable. And
the seats on those things are just...
The humidity levels are pretty high over there, so they didn't have much airflow in the gyms. So you're just like literally just sweating it out in there. I'm like, this is not fun. I'm trying to cardio here. But that was good because I'd been pretty much running very long hours for go live, so it was good to do some activity.
Yep. And some good food over there?
Yeah, lovely food.
You had some fish looking things. Actual fish on a plate. There was fish that...
Oh yes, the deep fried fish. Like they fillet the whole fish down the center of it and then bend it out and then whole deep fry the whole thing. It was amazing. Oh, there's a little bit of maybe a bit of batter over that as well.
Okay, you may be getting sound from the rain. We're going through the rainstorm now. Lightning has disappeared, but it's a bit eerie out at the moment.
Yeah, the lighting has just changed.
Yeah.
And we're just going through some changes on the road. It's making some beepings.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, but it was good. I've never been to Thailand before. People were amazing. Yep. Food was delicious. I'd love to go back there again. The other thing I did note was going out to the airport. They had some blue cycle paths. And someone commented, did I get to see them? Because it's quite well known, the cycle paths around near the airport. They're very well done infrastructure.
Okay, so there is cycle paths over there. Okay, the audio is going to be horrible now, but we're going to soldier on.
Yeah, and the other thing that I note in terms of bikes was they had 2 major cycling events in the next few months as well, so it must be a peak time for biking.
All right. We'll pause just there to hopefully come through this rainstorm so you can hear us talk. Give us 5, we'll be back. See what I mean? It's literally pissing down. Okay, I think we're back. Things have cleared up just a little. Scary stuff. My word. Summer storms are coming. That was half of one. That was only very small. But anyway, back to it. Okay, so all things aqua are half sorted. This is not the only travel you'll be doing lately, Von. You're over to Adelaide.
Yes, over to Adelaide
And
next
then-
week.
and then-
the same day I fly out to Amsterdam.
Woohoo, we're going to Amsterdam.
Yeah,
Woohoo, back to Europe. But the weather's going to be about the same.
it's going to be cold, wet.
It's 11
and
degrees outside at the moment.
miserable. So don't know if we'll get any outdoor riding in, but maybe some indoor.
I think where we're heading we'll have a few indoor trainers to ride. So more on that soon, but we're heading to Amsterdam this time next week.
Yeah.
And we're over there for a week. So that should be good. Lots of plans for a bit of content, and as I said, a lot of indoor stuff. So stay tuned. I think people will like it. It's all good. Coming up on the Llama channel on YouTube here, while we dice with more traffic and rain, the Flux S from Tax. I've been on that this week. The Neo 2.
Yes.
Von's really excited about the Neo 2.
Can I unbox it?
Only if I can film you unboxing it. You've done that with the Hammer and one of the kickers before. If you want to unbox it, we can do that. Okay, votes below. Do you think Von should unbox the Neo? Let us know below. And now the rain's back. Give us 5. And I think we're back. We're going to roll with it. Okay, next up, the PowerTap P2s arrived this week. I've got a demonstration / media unit of those from Saris / PowerTap to have a look at the P2s.
Great.
The silver. Your take on the silver?
Well, I do have old Shimano pedals that are silver, and you can't see your pedal under your bike, under your shoe.
That's
really.
a good point. The old school Shimano ones were, used to be silver. Even the Durace ones used to be silver. So there's a lot of heat being put on PowerTap over these ones. I mean, I'm skeptical of the same because I said, look, they're probably not version 2. They're version 1.5 because they're pretty much the very same pedal.
Yeah, let me see them on the bike
yeah.
and see what it looks like. But yeah, I mean, who's going to see what's underneath?
Well,
anyway.
bore, bike against the wall, bike against a bore. I mean, it's very bore important to have a good looking bike.
Bling bling.
Also, so yeah, looking forward to those. I love my PowerTap P1s. About a year and a half ago, I think I had those. They've been great on the bike. Worked very well. They were a source of power accuracy that I've been using, and still, I think last week, I was back on still using them after the Vectors and the Faveros. So it's a competitive market now though. So the pedals haven't changed, but the market has.
Sure.
And that's the difference in the review that I'll do, or my take on things. Because I can't say that they're a bad pedal, but the market's changed. So the competition changed, or people's options have changed.
Yeah.
Because I can't just say, oh, they're heavy, because they're a little lighter. Anyway, we'll go through that. I'm looking forward to that one. So we'll get that done this week. Also, other videos just with general questions answered. It's ergo season up in the Northern Hemisphere. It's indoor season starting. A lot of people have questions, excuse me, over the technology being used. That's why this week I've covered the kicker climb. What is it compatible with and why?
Yeah.
That comes up quite often. So I showed people, I got some hands-on and I clamped the bike. Did you see me clamp the bike onto the trainer that didn't actually spin?
Yeah.
And you could see the specks of like metal grinding on.
Ooh.
That right there, that like 5-second video is all I really needed to do, but I topped and tailed it with all the information. Yeah, lifting the bike up and down on a non-pivoting rear axle is all bad news. So I did a video on that. Also, how they make the kicker quiet. A lot of people have asked, can I just put the belt from the new kicker, put the core onto my old kicker? No, you can't. So I ran through that.
Yep.
And I've got a list of about 10 or 20 just short little snippet videos that I want to have up. It's not news and it's not, entertainment as such, but it's just a library of resource that people can point other people to if they want more understanding about what I'm tinkering around with, what I have access to, and what I answer online on forums anyway. A bit of hands-on, a bit of visual of that. So that's what's coming up.
I did have a laugh though, after your kicker climb video, you also put out a fun image of E.T. on the kicker climb.
Elliot.
Doing the over the moon. That was awesome.
I used to do a lot of those, just like parody, fun, meme type things
Yeah,
that I
it's
could
fun.
just play around with. But then I put a few of those on t-shirts, and then I got some takedowns. I know Strava sent me a takedown on the Lama Strava shirt. Zwift didn't like I think some of the t-shirts that I had up on Redbubble, so I had to take those down. It gets a little bit nasty, and given terms of service are something that I do want to adhere to and don't want to break. I've got to be very careful. So who owns the rights to ET? Is it Disney or someone?
It'd be
Warner Brothers or Disney or something like
Disney.
that. So I'd love to put that logo on a t-shirt, but then again, I'm dancing around like a grey area of technically profiting like a 20 cents or so from a t-shirt off that image. But it's a bit of fun. You've got to have a laugh.
Yeah.
Everyone loves ET. So, yeah. Also coming up soon, IQ Squared Power Meter. Those little pedal plugs that they've published data on. No one's seen them just yet. I think in a week's time they're going to be shipping. They said they'll be shipping to early adopters or early bird investors or early bird supporters on Kickstarter. Somebody has contacted me and said, hey Shane, if you would like my pair first before I put them on my bike to review, let me know. I'm like,
pretty cool.
Thank you, absolutely I would. Because can you ever be sure, like when we get sent units from companies direct, have they checked them first? Do we get special units? Well, obviously the tax Flux I hadn't in the past because we went through a few of those before we got the right one. But yeah, I'm all for that. If I could, if a company actually sent me something to review or a media unit, I'd love to go to a store and swap it out. Bit of a switcheroo, just to make sure I get the customer experience, because that's what I want to do. I take people through the process of the customer experience.
Oh, well, you've done that in the past in terms of things you've bought as well.
Yeah, like all the Garmin products I buy myself. The Vectors, the 1030s, the watch, everything, yeah. But again, there's a lot, like, the more the channel grows, the more opportunity that I have to look at media style units or media things. So I'm very aware of that, don't worry, and I keep my ear very close to the ground across all the forums, across the user feedback, and what's happening there. So yeah, I know if something's been used before I take it out of the box. You can tell. Also, be cool, that air trainer, that one that looks like a rear bike wheel that I've called bullshit on, because it hadn't existed for a year. Sent them an email, I hadn't heard back. I have heard back twice now. I've got 2 emails from them saying thanks for reaching out. Yes, the trainer does exist. Yes, we'll be launching it very soon. We're really keen to get you one to run you through the Llama lab test. And I'm like, okay, bring it on. As soon as one hits the ground, and I've promised within 24 hours of actually seeing one in the box, if I'm near the Llama lab, I'll get a review out or a user experience. I'm more on that. When people say, oh, I've purchased something on your review, I don't see myself as a reviewer. I still don't. I typically share the user process, the end user process.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, well, for example, and here's a golden example, the Edge 1030 or Edge power head units, GPS units, they're all firmware upgradable. So on the spec sheet, it says firmware upgradable. Cool. To upgrade the firmware on those things, it's pretty easy. If they're connected to your Wi-Fi or your phone, it'll just download the firmware. Next time you turn it on, it says, hey, there's a new firmware, hit go, you install done. That's firmware upgradable. Compare that to the Fly 6 CE rear dash cam bike cam.
Yeah.
That is also firmware upgradable. So on the spec sheet, firmware upgradable, tick box. But the process, the end user process, is galaxies away from just turning it on and hitting a button. Because the Fly 6 CE, in summary, you've got to connect the unit to a computer, drag and drop or download the file yourself, connect the unit via USB, drag one file on, turn the unit on, and then it goes into update mode, drag and drop another file after you connect it again and turn it on. However, on the spec sheet, both units say firmware upgradable. So what I take people through is what's the user process that is involved there.
Yeah.
Did I talk about stabilization? GoPro Hero 7 Black, like gimbal-like stabilization or advanced stabilization. The Fly 6 CE, 6-axis stabilization. So on the spec sheets, if a consumer looks at that, the customer looks at that and goes, okay, stabilization, cool. There should be some sort of one-for-one comparison standard here. Again, galaxies apart, and we saw that.
Yeah.
So that's more what I run through. I'm not selling anything, or unless I truly believe it changes my experience, and then I'll tell you about the process of that. Varia radar, Von, you still like your Varia radar?
Yeah, I do.
See, that is just, that's a game changer for me, for the riding that we do. Doesn't suit everyone, doesn't suit everything, in every scenario.
No,
but
I put it on my bike for the bike race that I did last month, and standing at the start line, and we have a requirement in our local racing to have a solid red light.
Mm-hmm.
and some of the riders approached from behind to stop behind the group ready to take off, as part of our group. And they said, "Oh, your light's flashing." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It was in radar mode, not light mode.
Yep.
So it was just like one of those small things. But yeah, can be used for everything.
Yep.
I just turned off the radar mode. I was fine with the solid red light.
So, interesting product. I think that's, more to come on the Vario radar. I'm still using mine all the time on roads like these, or emptier roads where you just, absolutely love it. The way it displays on the head unit and alerts you, it's all good. Okay, Lama Christmas Hamper is growing. Lama Christmas Hamper is growing. I may have mentioned before, if a company's going to send me something to have a look at, play around with, give my feedback on, I ask them to send 2 so I can give 1 away. Because it's more about not just my experience or getting free stuff. That's the fun of getting free stuff is well gone. It's well gone. Having access to things is great, and that's what it's all about, having access to new things.
Yeah.
But also giving back in the way of information, really distilling the process down of what it's like to be a consumer of said product.
Yeah.
And also giving one away. Always helps. So in the Christmas hamper giveaway, which I'm yet to figure out how we're going to do, but we'll come up with a plan. Wahoo Element bolts. We've got drink bottles. We've got Icon Ace rear lights. I'm not sure whether it's Icon Sense Ace rear lights. Still to come on that. I'm going to do a unbox my set, have a play around with them. Yeah, as I said, multi-tools, drink bottles, and loads of other stuff. So that's going to be a bit of fun.
Let's put some stickers in there.
Oh, there is everything that free stuff is...
Maybe you can break it up into smaller hampers and mini hamps.
Mini hamps. All right, stay tuned
for
the Christmas mini hamsters.
What?
I'll pack them in a box.
I love it.
I went there. Stay tuned for that. Other things on the radar. That was a horrible segue there.
Yeah.
But Article 13, Article 11 on YouTube. This is a bit of YouTube administration. As you may be aware, YouTube chose to shut my channel down the other week because of it. Anyway, we won't go into it. We're back. Nothing's wrong. Everything is good. However, what we saw with GDPR, the data privacy laws out of Europe, that changed a few things. And I'll go out there and say it killed Zwift Power and Zwift Racing.
Okay.
Because you've now got to opt in, and most people don't really want to opt into a third-party service or don't even know it's there. So people just want to jump on and race Zwift. It's really skewed that service, which is unfortunate. The solution there is for Zwift to bring that in-house and then deal with the data themselves. And as soon as you enter a race, you're agreeing to those terms and services of data being stored and ranked. Anyway, Article 13, Article 11, you may have heard those around YouTube, around copyright laws, link tax, copyright protection. In a nutshell, it's going to really, if it's passed in Europe, it's really going to restrict what people can upload and content people can copy or use. Interesting times for YouTube.
Well, I think it will have even further reaching impacts to that, just YouTube, like advertisements.
Advertisers. We see in January, advertisers disappear from YouTube.
Yeah.
And revenue, that's one of my biggest months with the Tour Down Under and all the cycling things, one of my biggest months, but it's one of the worst months performing for YouTube monetization. I mean, it's not a lot of money anyway, it just trickles through, but it becomes like the views double and the monetization halves. It's just insane. So if these laws pass, which means that if I was to upload, say, Zwift, me riding Zwift, which is a part of nearly every video I do anyway, that's what I ride in the pain cave, then obviously Zwift, even though I'm even sort of dicing on grey areas with Zwift because I'm rebroadcasting their service without written agreement, I need to now start ticking those boxes as well.
Okay.
So it's going to be harder to become a content creator. There's also some wording around any sporting event. If you are not the organizer or owner of the event, you are not allowed to upload anything whatsoever. And it's not the end user that's going to be liable for it, it's the platform itself, so YouTube.
Oh, so they're going to have to police the content.
Yeah, and they can't do it because I think every minute something like 400 hours or 400 days of content goes up on YouTube. There's just an insane amount. And as we saw, they can't scale. They couldn't, I mean, I don't exist to them at all as a content creator because I still haven't heard back from, and let's not keep going down that path. Yeah, it's interesting times. So, yeah, look, as I may have mentioned before that, I'm still doing other things in the background here to shore up or protect myself from the day YouTube doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because look, I won't dance around the fact that I've done a lot of work to build the channel. and I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing for as long as I can. But at any point, things can change.
Yeah.
As we saw the other week. So it's more just self-preservation of what I've done. So I do have every one of my videos, a master copy stored, but you know, who wants to see a library of 800 videos re-uploaded to one single site? So other things are in place there. Stay tuned on that. It needs to be sustainable what I'm doing and sharing out. So taking it off to another medium. I'll still continue doing what I'm doing here on YouTube. Any changes in that, we'll let you know. But yeah, interesting times. Speaking of interesting times, my tubeless repair fix. I've got to talk about that video.
Yeah, it was so funny. I was just leaving to go on my overseas trip for work, and Shane's like, I've got a flat tire, I need to borrow your wheel. I'm going for a ride. I'm like,
the worst part...
oh, yeah, it's all right.
The worst part of it, so I've grabbed Von's wheel and gone out for a ride, and that's where the taxi driver drove into me on our side of the road, because we ride on the left, we stick to the left, except for now when we're overtaking cars on multi-lane freeways. And I had to lock them up and skid it on your back tyre. Yeah, sorry. That's what made me angry at the taxi. Like, I'm not having to lock someone else's wheel up. So anyway, so in fixing the tyre, I gave that video a pre-intro prelude of, it's not a happy-go-lucky video, it's not a how-to video, it's me screwing up, it's to show people behind the scenes of, it's not all smiles and perfect dentistry. I failed, I screwed that up, but I'd also converted my wheels to tubeless, no problems. I'd also repaired your tyre previously, no problems.
Yes.
I'd also booted it and patched one of your tyres as well. So I've done 3 other videos, I think, or 2 other. I've done multiple tubeless videos. But because this one screwed up, everyone...
And you decided to share it.
And I decided to share it. I actually had to block a few people on that, could you believe? I mean, it's just standard fare that I copped the abuse over that. A lot of good recommendations from people coming through of what I should try and what I shouldn't try. But the abuse was just, it's comical. It really is. And that's what the block is for here on YouTube. It's, I'm here to help. I'm here to help show people that there's no bullshit up my sleeve as well, that it's not all happy days. And that's why I wanted to share that video. And it was fun. Like, have a laugh. Have a laugh.
Yeah.
But people actually attacked the out of me for... Anyway, but my question for those people before the block was, this is the exact same procedure that I used on a previous fix up here on YouTube. Where were the comments then? Because nothing changed, other than the ability for someone to kick you or kick me while I was down. Interesting times.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, my take on that was, have a laugh. Have a laugh at yourself. I was like, the thing flicked me in the finger. Have you ever flicked yourself in the fingernail? You know how that hurts?
I have nails, yes.
There we go. Who does fail a video? So the tubeless videos that I've seen are from companies selling tubeless tyres, people sponsored by tubeless tyres, and all happy days. Finally, someone tells it like it is, or experienced like it is. And it was me who failed. I'll take that, fine. Advice in the comments though, help me out. I've got 800 plus videos here helping everyone else out. In time of need, when I need some help, be constructive. What else is coming up, Von? Well, obviously sunny days now.
Yeah, sunny days. Complete backflip on the weather.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend, Giro della Donna is on.
Contador's in town.
Contador!
Well, back town. Looks like the weather's going to be okay for it too.
Oh, that would have been beautiful.
Imagine the storms in Giro della Donna for the... Mount Donibang is a beautiful place to ride a bike, but it has its own weather system as well.
Last year they had big storms.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
The sales of disc brake bikes went up after that weekend.
Cement Creek is the worst. Coming down Donibang, it's a beautiful open descent. It catches a lot of people out as well.
Yeah.
17 kilometres long, great long descent. The first section from the radio tower at the top into Cement Creek, which is about halfway.
It's pretty open.
Open. You can get on your top. You can just fly down that. It's a great ride. But as soon as you do that left-hander, you're in cement. Hairpin left-hander at Cement Creek, and it just goes from probably 4% down to about 9% with a different road surface and different corners.
Tight
yes.
corners. So
people, you're comfortable with the speed going down, and then that changes. There's a lot of collarbones done on that hill. So anybody riding it, be careful. Yeah. And I don't think actually going up doesn't take in those hills or those descents, little sections, because they come up around the gravel road.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, good stuff. It's one of those things where when you're riding up, you know how hard it is at that section. So you sort of mental note coming down here, things are going to change. Donna, we'll have to get back there one day for sure.
Yeah, I love Donna.
Cool. That's about it, I think. We'll leave it there for today.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming for the quick trip with us through 4 seasons in one day. What was with that rain?
Hopefully you guys got some of the lightning that we were seeing up front here.
That was, that's still down south now. It's looking clear out here. So it is currently 5:47 p.m. Let's get home on the bike, get some K's in.
Sounds good.
See you soon.